I had my doubts, but I learned a lot from the Artwod Landscape Course. However, I don't think it's for everyone. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to Panels in Progress, a channel about making comics and learning through the process. Today's video is a little bit different because we're going over the Artwod Landscaping Course. Artwod claims to be one of the best ways to learn how to draw. And considering that I'm a comic artist that struggles with backgrounds, I thought that maybe, just maybe, Artwod could teach me how to do landscapes, how to do backgrounds. It just so happens that my current comic takes place in a dark forest, so I thought this is the perfect time to start this course and really up my skills. I had just finished the Artwod beginner course, and the landscaping course seemed like the next best option. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. Now, before I actually get into the review of this course, I want to put some things into context. I want to frame it for you. One, I am not being paid to do this review. I'm using my own money to pay for the subscription for Artwod. Two, I already enjoy the way Artwod gives lessons. The fact that you can watch a 5 to 6 minute video and then it gives you some exercises you can do immediately after. You can put into practice what they taught you. I love that method and I think it works for me. 3, any course I take, any book I buy, whatever I'm doing is always in the mindset of, can I use this to improve my ability to make comics? Now, with all that in mind, let's get into it. Now, like I said earlier, I was completely skeptical about this. I have struggled with understanding backgrounds and landscapes and environments, especially in an outdoors setting, for a very long time. So I wasn't quite sure exactly how they were going to manage to teach me how to create a landscape from imagination. But it actually was quite simple. It started off very slow. Artwod has this unique way of creating the building blocks you need to set the path to learning. What I did appreciate about this course is that it took very complex things and it put them down to the bare minimum, the bare basics. And from all that, my ability to understand composition improved, the way I think about setting up an environment has improved, my ability to break down a scene from bigger elements, the repetition of the elements and how the elements are staged on a plane has improved, and overall my confidence with drawing nature has improved. These are things I didn't expect to happen. There was one time I actually enjoyed just drawing trees from my imagination, drawing rocks from my imagination, manipulating these forms in a way that looked believable to me. The one thing I definitely stand by is that Artwod has a way of taking complex topics and whittling them down to their basic, essential, need-to-know information and making it very accessible for an artist to understand and have a starting point. And I think that's why I did learn as much as I learned. But it wasn't all rainbows and lollipops. There were several things about this course that makes me believe that it's not for everyone. And I guess the biggest part of this was that, yes, I was learning, and I was amazed by all the things I could now do, all the things I could now understand based upon the exercises they provided and those grind nodes. I still stand by those grind nodes. They are grindy, but I can see why you need that repetition. But it did feel like a grind, not just in the grind nodes, but the entire course. I feel like if I wasn't working on a comic that had a forest as the background environment, that I probably would have lost interest in the course somewhere along the beginning. There was a point in time where it was so repetitive, just making trees, making rocks, making mountains, making a landscape. Like, I know that we need repetition, but I'm not sure we need it as much as we were given. A lot of the things were simply just hammered in over and over and over again. And I can see, for me, I was only doing it 30 minutes every single day. Just one lesson, doing the exercises, and then going on about my day. And then the next day I would come back and do the next batch of lessons. The next lesson, and then the next batch of exercises. But for someone who might only be solely concentrating on doing this as their core method of drawing, I'm not sure they'll stick with it. I'm not sure you'll stick with it because of how tedious it can be. Yes, the things that ArtWad is asking you to do within this course, they're not difficult, but you can feel like, is this all there is? The other thing that was a struggle point for this course was the teacher itself. I think the first one or two lessons, maybe even the first section, was given by Antonio. We're already used to his voice from the previous course, but this new teacher, his voice was very quiet, and for the most part his voice was very monotone, and the way he spoke also made those lessons that were only 5 to 6 minutes seem longer than they were. And I'm not saying that he's not a great teacher. All the information that he provided was valid, was useful, but in today's day and age, I'm not sure a lot of people have the patience to sit through a soft-spoken teacher. Now, I've already spoken about how repetitive the course felt. In the elements, you're making trees, rocks, mountains, deserts, and clouds. And you're combining these elements in some way, shape, or form in every single exercise. But you don't actually get into the details. I can only make 2 types of trees. I can make a pine tree, that's basically a cone shape, and I can make a tree that has branches, but I couldn't tell you what type of trees those were, or I don't necessarily know the difference that makes one tree look better than the other. That's not necessarily a knock against the course itself, but perhaps obviously this is just, I would say that this course is an introduction to landscapes. You will need to do further research. You're not going to get everything you need from this course, but you're going to have enough information to start. They're teaching you the basics, and from what you do with those basics, that will depend on your outcome. And out of those elements, I'll say that I'm actually pretty happy with how I can draw a tree now. I'm happy. I think the way I draw clouds will do. I think the way I draw mountains, it'll do. But I can draw a badass rock. Like, no one's messing with my rock game. But again, if you're not making a project, a painting, an environment, a comic that needs these elements, I'm not sure how much you'll either get out of the course or continue to get out of the course. Because my comic takes place in the woods, the things I was learning about the trees and the landscaping and how to differentiate between trees in the foreground and trees in the background, and those little details that make a cohesive landscape or environment, I don't think I would have kept going. But I will say, I guess that's a testament to the efficacy of the course itself, is that since I had this project that required these elements, it made me focus more on those lessons that were specific to how to draw a forest. And when I went back to working on my comic, I could see the improved designs for my composition. I could see exactly what was working in my backgrounds and what wasn't working. I felt more confident adding a forest landscape in the background and inking that and making it look great. I had more confidence doing that than I actually had on the character itself. And that says something because I love drawing characters. So who is this course for? To be honest, if you are a comic artist and your comic takes place mostly outside, where you're referencing characters moving through the mountains, moving through the desert, moving through the forest, they live in a cloudy city, something like that, like this course is going to help. If you are not afraid of the repetition and you can show up every single day or every other day and do a lesson, do the exercises, if you want a very clear structure on how to start from nothing, no knowledge, and then eventually you will be able to create a dynamic environment out of your imagination based with just those 5 elements that they gave you, I think the course is going to work for you. If you're looking for quick results, you probably want to skip this course. If you have no interest in outdoor environments, you're not interested in drawing the trees and landscapes and forests and deserts and rocks, definitely stay away from this course. And if you are all about characters and you never intend to put them in an outdoor environment, then also stay away from this course. And I think that if you're working on a comic that is inside buildings, inside rooms, things like that, not sure that you'll get anything that will help you with that. So just think about what you're creating. What do you want to create? What could you use this landscape course to help you create? And if it checks off any of those boxes that it will help you with the project that you want to do, then give it a try. Overall, I think the course is useful. I learned a lot from it, and I went from hating drawing backgrounds, especially outdoor backgrounds, to actually loving and enjoying the process and seeing just how much I now understand about developing a landscape just from this course. But it was a long time coming, and I did feel every single day that it was a means to an end. But take this advice with a grain of salt. This course might not be for you, but it might also be exactly what you need. Only you can determine that based upon the project or comic you are trying to make. At the end of the day, it's your money. You can decide how you want to spend it. For me, ArtWad is still worth it. The different subjects available to learn about, I think, is plentiful, and I can't wait to dig into other courses available at ArtWad. My next course is going to be the coloring course. That's another struggle point for me, and if it can teach me how to color, make my comics look amazing, then I guess I'm just a member for life at that point. But what do you guys think? Have you given ArtWad a try? Have you tried out the beginner course? Are you thinking about taking the landscape course? If you've already taken the coloring course, let me know, because that's the next one I'm going into, and it'd be nice to have a heads up. Hey, Editing Chris here. I was about to upload this video, and then I realized that ArtWad made some improvements to their user interface and how you can get around. One question that I raised in my last video is, once you complete the ArtWad beginner course, what do you do next? How do you know what would be the next best option? Well, they supplied an answer. So ArtWad has a new learning tree, and I'm really liking it actually. It has a start here option, which is the intro to drawing, and then you see the tree go down to intro to portraits or intro to figures, and then there's the intermediate courses. It shows you exactly where the course is leading you and where you can branch off. They also divided it into figure, nature, and other, and you can see which would be the next best option depending on what you want to learn. I really do like this new update. I think that this clears up a lot of what is next based upon your interest in what you want to learn, and it's not just a singular interest, it is multiple options. Now, obviously, they're still working on this, so there is some coming soon buttons, but other than that, I really do like the direction that Artwod is moving their platform into. Let's get back to the video. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to support the channel, subscribe, check out my Patreon, and until next time, let's make some progress.